Freddie Mercury, born Farrokh Bulsara, September 5, 1946, November 24, 1991 2, was a British singer, songwriter, record producer, and lead vocalist of the rock band Queen. Regarded as one of the greatest singers in the history of rock music, he was known for his flamboyant stage persona and four-octave vocal range. Mercury defied the conventions of a rock frontman, with his highly theatrical style influencing the artistic direction of Queen. Born in 1946 in Zanzibar to Parsi-Indian parents, he attended English-style boarding schools in India from the age of 8 and returned to Zanzibar after secondary school. In 1964, his family fled the Zanzibar Revolution, moving to Middlesex, England. Having studied and written music for years, he formed Queen in 1970 with guitarist Brian May and drummer Roger Taylor. Mercury wrote numerous hits for Queen, including Killer Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, Somebody to Love, We Are the Champions, Don't Stop Me Now, and Crazy Little Thing Called Love. His charismatic stage performances often saw him interact with the audience, as displayed at the 1985 Live Aid concert. He also led a solo career and served as a producer and guest musician for other artists. Mercury died in 1991 at age 45 due to complications from AIDS. He confirmed the day before his death that he had contracted the disease, having been diagnosed in 1987. Mercury had continued to record with Queen following his diagnosis, and he was posthumously featured on the band's final album, Made in Heaven, 1995. In 1992, his tribute concert was held at Wembley Stadium. His career with Queen was dramatized in the 2018 biopic Bohemian Rhapsody. As a member of Queen, Mercury was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001, the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2003, and the UK Music Hall of Fame in 2004. In 1990, he and the other Queen members were awarded the Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to British Music, and 1 year after his death Mercury was awarded it individually. In 2005, Queen were awarded an Ivor Novello Award for Outstanding Song Collection from the British Academy of Songwriters, Composers, and Authors. In 2002, Mercury ranked number 58 in the BBC's poll of the 100 Greatest Britons. Mercury was born Farrokh Bulsara in Stone Town in the British Protectorate of Zanzibar, now part of Tanzania, on September 5, 1946. 3-4, his parents, Bomi, 1908-2003, and Jer Bulsara, 1922-2016, a 5, were from the Parsi community of Western India. The Bulsaras had origins in the city of Bulsar, now Valsad, in Gujarat. B3, he had a younger sister, Kashmira. 6-7. The family had moved to Zanzibar so that Bomi could continue his job as a cashier at the British Colonial Office. As Parsis, the Bulsaras practiced Zoroastrianism. 8. Mercury was born with 4 supernumerary incisors, to which he attributed his enhanced vocal range. 9-10. As Zanzibar was a British protectorate until 1963, Mercury was born a British subject, and on June 2, 1969 was registered a citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies after the family had emigrated to England. 11. Mercury spent most of his childhood in India, where he began taking piano lessons at the age of 7 while living with relatives. 12. In 1954, at the age of 8, Mercury was sent to study at St. Peter's School, a British-style boarding school for boys, in Panchgani near Bombay. 13. At the age of 12, he formed a school band, the Hectics, and covered rock and roll artists such as Cliff Richard and Little Richard. 14-15. One of Mercury's former bandmates from the Hectics has said the only music he listened to, and played, was Western pop music. 16. A friend recalls that he had an uncanny ability to listen to the radio and replay what he heard on piano. 17. It was also at St. Peter's where he began to call himself Freddie. In February 1963 he moved back to Zanzibar where he joined his parents at their flat. 18. In the spring of 1964, Mercury and his family fled from Zanzibar to escape the violence of the revolution against the Sultan of Zanzibar and his mainly Arab government. 19. In which thousands of ethnic Arabs and Indians were killed. 20. They moved to 19 Hamilton Close, Feltham, Middlesex, England. The Bulsaras briefly relocated to 122 Hamilton Road, before settling into a small house at 22 Gladstone Avenue in late October. 21. After first studying art at Isleworth Polytechnic in West London, Mercury studied graphic art and design at Ealing Art College, graduating with a diploma in 1969. 2. He later used these skills to design heraldic arms for his band Queen. 22. Following graduation, Mercury joined a series of bands and sold second-hand clothes in Kensington Market in London with Roger Taylor. 23. He also held a job as a baggage handler at Heathrow Airport. 24. Friends from the time remember him as a quiet and shy young man with a great interest in music. 25. In 1969, he joined Liverpool-based band Ibex, later renamed Wreckage, which played very Hendrix-style, heavy blues. 26. He briefly lived in a flat above the Dovedale Towers, a pub close to Penny Lane in Liverpool's Mossley Hill district. 27-28. When this band failed to take off, he joined an Oxford-based band, Sour Milk Sea, but by early 1970 this group had broken up as well. 29. In April 1970, Mercury teamed up with guitarist Brian May and drummer Roger Taylor, to become lead singer of their band Smile. 2. They were joined by bassist John Deacon in 1971. Despite the reservations of the other members and Trident Studios, the band's initial management, Mercury chose the name Queen for the new band. He later said, "It's very regal obviously, and it sounds splendid. It's a strong name, very universal and immediate. I was certainly aware of the gay connotations, but that was just one facet of it." 30. At about the same time, he legally changed his surname, Bulsara, to Mercury. 31. Shortly before the release of Queen's self-titled first album, Mercury designed the band's logo, known as the Queen Crest. 32. The logo combines the zodiac signs of the four band members, 2 lions for Deacon and Taylor, sign Leo, a crab for May, Cancer, and 2 fairies for Mercury, Virgo. 32. The lions embrace a stylized letter Q, the crab rests atop the letter with flames rising directly above it, and the fairies are each sheltering below a lion. 32. A crown is shown inside the Q, and the whole logo is overshadowed by an enormous phoenix. The Queen crest bears a passing resemblance to the royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom, particularly with the lion supporters. 22-32. Although Mercury's speaking voice naturally fell in the baritone range, he delivered most songs in the tenor range. 33. His known vocal range extended from bass low F, F2, to soprano high F, F6. 34. He could belt up to tenor high F, F5. 34. Biographer David Brett described his voice as escalating within a few bars from a deep, throaty rock growl to tender, vibrant tenor, then on to a high-pitched, perfect coloratura, pure and crystalline in the upper reaches. 35. Spanish soprano Montserrat Caballé, with whom Mercury recorded an album, expressed her opinion that the difference between Freddie and almost all the other rock stars was that he was selling the voice. 36. She adds,